Great. Hello, everyone, and good evening to I Love Being Her podcast. I have such an amazing guest. She's also have her podcast of her own. Her name is Clari, a Working Lady podcast. A lot of you already know her. Whoever doesn't, listen, we're gonna learn all about her tonight. Okay, she's about health, nutrition, and all the good things. That's something I definitely need to be here for myself. So I can't wait to introduce her. This is a laid back podcast. It's like girlfriends talking, and I just got the privy of listening into on our conversation. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to introduce my co-host for today, this evening, Miss Clary of Work It Lady Podcast. Go ahead, take over.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for having me on, Kim. Thank you so much for providing a space for conversations, helpful, healthy conversations. I appreciate that.
Yes, yes. Thank you for being here. So I saw you on, of course, Kim Jacobs' podcast,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So I saw you on that. And I just wanted to I said, oh, I need to have her on my show. First of all, you caught my attention when you spoke about being, health and wellness. And we definitely have to get it together as far as taking care of ourselves and our bodies. How did you come about starting out like this? I mean, you're so young. I'm pretty sure that you could probably have a couple of burgers and eat all the high cholesterol, all the good things, all the ice cream, all the great things that I love. I wish that I could still do. But
I
how did
have to limit.
how did you come about doing this? And was this change hard for you?
I'm so glad you asked me that question because there are lots of reasons for my why, y'all. So, first, my journey started myself. I had a lot of health problems as a child. Okay. I went through a 3 month period. It was probably almost 4 months where I was so sick I could not leave the home. I was
Mm,
in and out of children's hospital all of the time. They could not figure out what was wrong. Basically, it was a lot of autoimmune type issues. And that kind of always stuck with me. And my mom was trying to figure out, what was going on. Thankfully, I was able to get over most of the things, and everything was fine. However, then some years later, my family just started getting wrecked with cancer. Okay. And I mean, it was one family member after the other make it so bad. My mom and my aunt even had it at the same time.
mm,
And so that's how bad it was. And so I'm just like, what is up, with our health in our family? It was very sad. It was not easy to go through. And then, you start doing all this research and everything. And I started just by reading books on nutritional health. And then I started taking classes. And then I said, okay, well, I want to do even more. And then I got into medical coding. And then I got into my uh, uh, board certification for nutritional health coaching. And then now I'm almost done with my master's degree in public health. So it's been a long journey of me doing all of these health learning for my own and helping, my audience, because what I have come to realize is some things unfortunately are just in the cards. We are
yeah,
we are just going to get it. There's nothing anyone did wrong. There's nothing that can be done about it. And that is okay. It is nobody's fault, but there are some things that sometimes we can tweak, and we can squeak through, and we can overcome just with a couple of tweaks, because in our community we are so busy. See, the thing is that black people naturally do have a very good health overall. The problem is that we have been so busy and so pushing our body to the limit for hundreds of years, and then some people did not have the nourishment they need, so then you start to see problems in the population. Okay, and then fast forward to modern day, we got every distraction under the sun, every junk food under the sun, and the junk foods are quick, you know what I mean? So that is my mission, is to help, especially busy moms, especially single moms, with
Yes,
themselves to stay healthy and keep them kids healthy because it is so important.
I agree. I totally agree. So, what would you recommend for that busy single mom who may have three kids, one kid, or so however, how would they go about like setting up eating a healthy lifestyle? Because it's very quick it's easy to order a box of pizza or
That's
go to
right.
McDonald's. So I mean, definitely no McDonald's. That could definitely. But what would you recommend? Do you offer like recipes, or do you offer suggestions for the single mom that's very busy and can't cook dinner as soon as they get home?
Yes, I have lots of suggestions that are going to make things quick and easy. First of all of the moms, the single moms especially, do not feel like you have to be out here like these health influencers posting a healthy lifestyle, eating at Whole Foods. You know what I'm saying? What's the other thing? Hello Fresh. Yeah, it's cute, but it is expensive. It
Yes.
is not that deep. You do not have to do all of that to be healthy. And truth be told, you can have, a pizza or even a burger, some junk food a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Our bodies do have immune systems and we can take a little bit of junk, so I don't want people to ever feel like, okay, well, if I'm not a vegan and if I'm not doing all this stuff, well, then I'm just failing. You're not. But there are some key things that I especially want to say to the moms. So, moms, if you're a single mom, you got a lot of weight on your shoulders. Baby, you got to fortify yourself. And
Mm,
that is the first thing you are going to have to do. And I'm going to tell you, only thing you need to do, single moms, is take yourself a green apple, put that green apple in your bag every single day, and have that green apple every day. If you can't do nothing else, that will save you some and it will fortify your body and it will still do a world of good just doing that. So I tell people,
mhm,
start with a simple goal. The polyphenols in a green apple are excellent for balancing your blood sugar. They are excellent for balancing your estrogen. This is why I tell the women to please eat that every day. It'll help balance your estrogen. It will also remove excess cholesterol. The fiber and the pectin in there will help remove that from your bloodstream. Okay, so it's a green apple is a daily simple cleanse that you can do every single day. And the green apples, I feel like, are a little bit better for us just because they don't have a high of sugar as well. So if you're already like pre-diabetic and you got to watch out,
mhm.
typically you're going to be pretty good with the green apple. So mommies, please do that for yourself every single day. View it like going to get your hair done or going to the spa. That's how important it is. You got to get that green apple in.
Keeping a green apple a day, huh?
A
Keeping a green
green,
apple.
yes, and just start with that.
Is it the green apples less sweet or something, but less sweet than the red apples? That they more has more vitamins in it.
Yes. So now I'll give you a pro tip. When I want people to really eat their green apple, I'll share this tip with them. So green apples also have natural retinols in it. And a lot of the skincare products have green apple stem cells in it. And so if you can do that, it's also going to help you look, youthful, glowy skin, all that. So sometimes people aren't sold on the health, but they're like, oh, it's going to make me look good. Then
Yes,
they will go ahead and
I'm
eat
about
it.
to go get me some green apples on tomorrow because I'm gonna need my retinol. I'm gonna have to get my retinol in.
Yes, girl. Then the other thing I do, I had my kids laughing at me the other day. I turned around and put the green apple on my face when I was done eating. I was like, look, we going
In any kind of way, whether it's gonna go in my house, put it right
internal, external. We doing
right,
it
put
all.
all of it. I get it. Yes, you're gonna have us all out getting green apples. And it's gonna be a shortage of green apples because Work It Lady told us to go get
Get those green apples for
the green
real.
apple. I'm on my way. I'm definitely going to put that on my list. I did a Costco run of haul
Okay,
today. Um, you might not like that Costco haul that I did in there, but
that's okay.
however, I do. I have like the breakfast sandwiches. I got the egg whites, little egg white. thing bites that they
Uh-huh.
had. But I didn't do the whole egg, of course, the yellow yolk. My doctor said to kind of like stay away from that a little bit from the cholesterol.
Okay.
Um, but I did that, but I didn't want to get back in my fruits and veggies. But the reason why I did the Costco haul really it was because I'm trying not to spend money at every drop of a dime. I don't want to be like, oh, well, I don't have food in the house, so let me go to this fast food restaurant across the street. So I wanted to make sure that there was food always inside my home. Whether, something that's snack on. I did get some healthy fruit snacks, so you should be
Mhm.
very proud of me. It's called
Yes.
it's called That's It. It only has two ingredients. So it is like
Oh,
apples and
yes.
strawberries. So that's I have that
Okay.
and fruit bar too. So I have all those. I did get healthy stuff. I did get healthy stuff.
That's see, and I love what you said in there because you were like, I don't want to not have food in the house, and then I go out and get the junky stuff. That is key. You have to set yourself up in coaching. We even evaluate the environment. Like when we really get into one-on-ones and stuff, we evaluate your environment to see, okay, what is in your home that could prevent you from sticking with eating healthy. And so the fact that you already know, look, I got to get some healthy stuff in the house so I don't have these other distractions is huge. And that's important too for the kids because see kids still eat like how we were meant to. We're kind of made to graze. You if you think way back to the beginning, they was walking through, oh, pull this off the tree. Nom, nom, nom. Yeah, walk some more,
Yeah,
pull that off the
yeah,
tree. We're meant to just graze like that. Now we eat, morning, noon, and night, which is fine, but kids still do that. They're grazers. And so it's important to have them, you know, lots of little options, healthy options, have fruit in there. I have a thing of walnuts on my counter. I'm like, if you real hungry, get some protein in, eat those walnuts. That's going to help you build your blood up too. Get them walnuts in a variety of nuts, a variety of fruits, even things like bagels. They can still have some carbs. It can go a little crazy with the carbs because they're jumping around so much and they're so active. So stuff like that is really important to do for the kids because what we're finding is like we talked about in the beginning with my situation, a lot of what I had was due to my diet.
mm.
And that is not to shame anybody, shame mom, shame
No,
anyone.
yeah, right.
It's just we're busy and we have inherited a scenario that makes us more busy than every other woman. Okay. We have to work harder. We've got more parents that we need to care for because, the income isn't there or whatever it is. So all of those things make it harder for us. So you have to kind of have your warrior hat on and say, I'm in a war with my health. I've got literally
Mm,
everything working against me. I got socioeconomic, I got kids, I got no support system.
mm,
I am my own support system. Put them green apples in there, get some good fruit and things on the counter because the things that's happening with our kids is getting out of hand. I think it kind of started probably, last generation and going forward. And again, some of the things that I dealt with, especially when you start to get those diagnoses of, the rheumatoid arthritis and the anything in that autoimmune bracket, that is an indicator it is something that you're eating. Unless you've been hit with a genetic, your child's been diagnosed with a genetic condition, it is something that they're eating. And I'll tell you what it was in my case. I was a kid that had to have sweets 24/7 all
oh
day, every day.
yeah.
Honey, tasty cakes, honey buns. I remember I would go because my
Honey
background
buns. Oh,
that was I
God.
mean, I would go to school, sometimes I wouldn't have lunch money or whatever like that. So I'm like, look, I'm gonna go in here and do some hair. I started, doing hair in school, ended up doing that for a career as a while. So I go in there, do some kids' hair, make
Let
my
me
little
step on that
change,
you're an entrepreneur in high school. Go ahead, girl.
get my little money for my honey buns. I have like 4 honey buns for lunch and a chocolate
For
milk
lunch.
for lunch, okay? And my mom was so busy, she didn't know what I was eating at school.
Right.
And she would try in the evenings, and do her
Yeah.
thing and stuff. But we do the fried chicken, we Southern, at least I am, this is fried chicken, we heavy on that. So it was all of those things that I was doing that are not good. Now, I'm gonna share a couple things that I like to tell my
Okay.
audience to cut out, that cut your health and boost your health immediately. Cut out the dairy products. That was one thing that was messing me up
Okay.
for literal years. And I'm gonna tell you, for women's reproductive, milk products are high in estrogen, animal estrogen. So that adds to our own estrogen. And then
Um,
we become estrogen dominant, and that can help fuel cancers. And that is what we don't, estrogen dominant
wow.
cancers. Mayo Clinic, I like to quote from these reputable clinics. Mayo Clinic, if you guys have a question on this, they have
I
published
love
some
it.
great studies, on dairy products and estrogen, and why it's important for women especially to pay attention to their estrogen is, when we're little, we're just starting to get our estrogen. We think of our kids and our teenagers as having, oh, their hormones are so high, they're through the roof. It's actually not. They're just starting to get their hormones. So their body is adjusting to getting their hormones. They get little bitty bitty amounts. And again, Mayo Clinic has this graphic. The biggest group of women that has the highest estrogen levels is women in their late 30s to mid 50s.
Wow.
And that is the bracket that we see these reproductive estrogen cancers popping up. So that is why it is imperative, if you are in that age group, or even if you ain't made it there yet, cut out the dairy products. Cut them out. It is going to save us a lot.
Wow. So I remember my doctor did say a while back that I shouldn't drink cow milk. And ever since he told me that I shouldn't drink cow milk, I stopped. So
Bravo.
I stopped. He said you're not supposed to be drinking that. But I drink almond milk or oat milk.
Those are great alternatives. Absolutely. And I know it's not easy. It took me years to make that change, because then I was eating I would have pizza for lunch every single day. I remember back in the day, Subway used to have pizzas, and that was my lunch every day when
They
I took my
did.
At least in my area, they had pizzas at the
I'm
Subway. I'm
like,
like, give me pepperoni with extra cheese,
wow.
hitting it hard every single day. And so I messed myself. I used to love myself a nice thick milkshake, honey,
Oh
morning,
yes,
noon,
honey.
night. Oh, and so I get it. But when I tell you I used to have rheumatoid arthritis, don't have it no more. The dairy products will fuel all them autoimmune conditions, y'all. It
Mm.
will fuel them.
I'm glad you talked about autoimmune disease, autoimmune system. So as
Mhm.
you know, well, you don't know, but I have alopecia.
Okay.
And they said that alopecia, well, alopecia is an autoimmune disease. It could come from stress or I was like, oh, so my hair's falling out through stress, but don't you know I'm stressed out because my hair is falling out? But
Right,
it's
right.
also, I learned that it's also because of my diet, because of what I was eating. So I assumed that just because I was skinny growing up, that I could eat anything I wanted. And I was proud of it. I would have cakes. I would eat apples, but I would love them in the pie. So much better than
Yep.
just having a regular apple.
Mhm,
Or cakes, banana pudding, pizza, McDonald's. McDonald's was my favorite too, growing
mhm.
up. So, and I loved going, like, I loved, like, and shout out to moms. Let me just say shout out to moms because they didn't know what we was eating in high school because
Right,
we could go to the vending machine and get some chips and stuff or the honey buns, like you said, or when we going home, going past the stores, we purchasing more candy. And we probably eat all that before she got home to cook dinner. So
right,
they didn't
right.
know what we was doing.
They didn't. They really
So
didn't.
shout out to them. They did their best. That's why I said they did their best. We were
They
just knuckleheads or, just wanted to eat whatever we wanted to eat back then. So
Right, right.
this
So it's just a thing. But I mean, I will say now, if you, the alopecia that you now, I do have some alopecia. Mine is because of Hashimoto's, and I do have
okay.
an advanced, Hashimoto's, and it's autoimmune. I have antibodies, so there is a lot that can be done, but there is a lot that cannot be done. That is a condition that's going to persist with the duration, rest of your life type thing. But I will say, with alopecia, the type that you have, that also does have some genetic markers. So I don't want you to feel like that was all you, because that is very much, it has a lot of genetic components to it. So I mean, there's still some things that you can do. Some people do go on to regrow some
Mhm.
hair. But again, sometimes those genes are just turned on for folks and they was gonna be turned on,
Yeah, yeah.
no matter
Mhm.
what.
It
So
took me some time to get used to it. It took me some time. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, because you had the like thick, long, beautiful hair. It was long because your mama straightened it out. But other than
taking
that,
care of our hair.
you
Yep.
still have water that touched that hair, and then just like that.
Hmm.
But I miss it. But I'm used to it now. But I'm gonna tell my age for the whole world to know. At 50, I am being more mindful. Thank you. I'm
Yes,
being
you're
more
right.
mindful about what I'm eating and putting in my body. I don't want to wait until I'm 70, 60, 70, 80 years old to try to change stuff up. You know.
Right. And we're learning now 50 is still young. 50 is the new 40. Matter of fact, 50 is the new 30. I feel like seriously, people are out here living their best life at
I'm
60,
trying.
looking good. Like it's a whole nother day. Like,
It is. It is. It is.
so that is still, you are still
Thank
making these
you.
changes at a
Yeah.
young age. But yes, I mean, all we can do is learn from our past
Yep.
selves, learn from our families, and try to do better for our kids and even our grandkids. And I tell even people, you know, if you decide you're going to get pregnant, or even if you just turn up pregnant, however that happens, think about that baby in your belly.
Yes.
Eat them fruit. Don't be out here, with the McDonald's and the this and then that, because your grandchild is already in your womb, because that baby's already got their eggs in it. So you got the power to correct two
Child.
generations in your
Teachers.
belly if you
Teachers.
do that. So, and again, some women, it's hard. I get it. I was very sick with my first pregnancy, but we got to do that for our next generation. We got to, because the food is getting worse. It's so mass produced. Sometimes it
It
just
is.
doesn't. It's not as nutrient dense as it could be. So we got to really counteract that by eating as many fruits and veggies as we can, drinking our
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
Now, another thing I like to share with women that they can also do to quickly improve their health is laying off the coffee. And I'm gonna tell you
Oh,
why.
I'm so glad I stopped. Thank you.
You are so good already. I love this.
Whoa, I'm so
I
glad
love
you making me
this.
feel good about myself right now. You're making me
Yes. You are on point. Like when I mentioned the coffee, people can let go of the dairy a little bit easier. When I mention coffee,
they
man,
fall
the
out.
karate comes out. They do not be trying to.
No, no,
They
no,
be like,
no.
that is enough of that, girl. Be
That's
quiet.
enough. Look, I don't want to talk no more.
Right, right, right. And
But
now
yeah,
I'm gonna tell you why the coffee drinking is important. Uh we got to lay off the coffee, because see, coffee, the problem with coffee, yes, it does have all these other great benefits, or whatever, mental, it can help with mental clarity sometimes, but the benefits do not outweigh the risk with coffee. Coffee, when they
mm,
make it, the beans are burned, so it is carcinogenic. Okay, it's burnt. That's how you roast beans. They're burnt on an open fire, and then the liquid from that is what we drink.
look,
So
now I'm like,
it's very heavy on the liver. It provides a lot of work for the liver to do. And the liver's main job is to clean up the cells. And so when you're drinking coffee all day, every day, and this is a lot of my strong Black business women fall victim on this one. The busy moms, they're not so much of the coffee drink, but my very successful business women are surviving on coffee,
okay,
and it's cute now to have the Starbucks in the hand. You wasting your money and you messing up your liver real bad,
at the
because
same time.
the liver is your cleaner. So you got
Wow,
to keep that clean to keep your body clean.
wow.
And it really can have some devastating effects. And again, if your liver is preoccupied trying to clean up the coffee every day, it can't clean up the cancer cells and all the other stuff that it's
Oh,
got to clean up every day.
y'all hear
So
that? Mm,
let the coffee go, y'all. I can't tell you enough. Let that Put
Mental
that co
health
and
is
that was
life.
another thing that was messing me up too. I was a huge coffee drinker. I was in corporate, young in corporate America. They got the coffee machine over there. Oh, coffee, and then
You
you
drink
drinking it
coffee
out them
too.
Starbucks cups. Styrofoam cups too. So now you got the carcinogen in the coffee, plus you got the forever chemicals from the styrofoam cup. At least put it in your own coffee mug. you know.
I'm glad you said that because I said okay. I went. I cleaned out my Keurig just to put it away because it was like done with coffee. I cleaned out that Keurig. That thing looked so dark and nasty and disgusting. I was like, "Am I drinking this stuff?" Inside I was like, "I was killing myself. What am I doing?" I was cleaning it because you go all the way down. 'Cause I wanted to put it away. I should have tossed that
Right.
thing out. It was just like if you think about it, the stain and stuff that's going in that's inside the coffee machine is inside your system. So that's what
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. Like I was thinking about it that way. But when you broke it down like that, yeah, I'm so glad I stopped 2, 3 months ago.
Yes, yeah. It really, and it's people always like now we look at the things like, oh, our cancer rates are up, autism rates are up, all these things. Some of it is, things that are out of our control, but those are really the smaller, much smaller, minute. It is the daily things we eat every day that are making these things go up. And we have to confront that head on, take accountability. I know I have messed up a lot. And we just say,
Yeah,
hey, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know coffee drinking is very popular in all cultures. So, you
it
just drink
is.
it. You're not thinking you're doing anything. And again, everything is possible in moderation. Does that mean, hey, for the rest of your life, never drink a cup of coffee? No, it just means maybe limit it to once a month. Make it a social thing. Just like, with wine drinking and things like that. Now we know the effects of wine. It's also cancer causing. Surgeon General put that out. And again, folks don't want to hear it. Oh, no, it ain't the
I
alcohol.
gotta have something fun to do or whatever. Like, oh, really?
Right.
Can't causing cancer in your body is something fun to know.
And again, as long as you can keep that in perspective, you can have a little red wine, does have some
Yeah,
benefits, whatever. But if you're having it every day, you got to have, a
yeah,
glass of wine every single night. Save it for social occasions. That's what I tell people. Save your coffee, save your wine for social occasions. You're going to be just fine.
you
It's the
will.
daily use and
You
everything.
will.
The last thing I will talk about is for us, in the Black community too, with all the changes going on, we are going to have to be, excuse me, really dialed into our health because there could be changes and things like that going on. There's a lot of information out there on things that is just inaccurate. I tell people to do this if you really want to know things on vaccine safety, if you want to know things on additives in foods and things like this. Start with your public library. Pick up the nutritional college textbooks. Check them out at your library, read them. There's also access to other in depth research studies that are published in NIH. Like there, they have like the abstract. Okay, but
Mm,
you can go deeper if you get the key pin from your public libraries and you have access to even more. So, that is something that our tax dollars are paying for that we can take advantage of. So, I tell people you got to start with the actual education because what it is a collective. Remember our NIH, our CDC, all these places, they're not just a collective of the US. They also pull in other populations from around the world and what they've studied
mm,
and what they learn, all of our universities. So before you discredit it all, really get in there because that's what I did. I was on the other side. I had sworn, I said, I hate all doctors. I'm never going to one again. And for some years I didn't and did a lot of damage to myself trying to self treat and do all these things that were alternatives, some of which were good, but a lot of things I sabotaged myself. And so now I have a dual approach. You need the natural and you need the science. It has to be together. If you reject one or the other, girl, you go mess yourself up every single time.
That's what I think I did. I'm not gonna lie, I did that to that with my thyroid. I did say, okay, well, I'm not gonna take the pills no more. I'm just gonna just eat all apples, oranges, grapes, and stuff like that. And I think I was making myself worse. So the doctor was like, yeah, your numbers are going up. So I said, okay, that's not working. So I'm gonna have to go back taking the pill because I don't like taking medicine that much for me because I don't like it with the side effect. I don't have side effects, but I don't want later on talking about, oh, your liver is this, or this has happened, or now that you got this. So I was trying to stop that from happening, but
And that's a legitimate concern. That's a very legitimate concern. And guess what? The powerful thing that you did there was you did the self experiment. Some people will just go off of it and not, they'll never go back to the doctor again. They just say, I'm not doing it. And they have no clue what's going on in their body. So I'm not knocking what you did because self experimentation is the most powerful tool we have. You tried it, you saw it didn't work. And guess what? My thyroid, I tried it too. It did not work. And so I like to give people this with the medications.
okay,
You can go to I think it's the American something of pharmacology, and they publish a lot of information on a lot of the medications. Certain medications, as long as you're taking them as directed, as you notice, most medication will tell you to take it with a full glass of water and be hydrated.
yeah,
That in itself is going to prevent the liver damage. That simple
makes
thing
sense.
in
Makes
itself is gonna prevent the liver damage. Like my mom, she didn't like drinking water, and she would just put her pills in her mouth and chew it up. That ain't taken as directed. That ain't taken as directed, y'all.
yeah,
You got to follow them instructions
yeah,
on
but they
there.
can be biting it and it don't it taste better? Like,
She would just, my mom would be doing all kinds of little things like that. We like, look, you know, but
yeah,
we
your
you
love
know, it
bomb.
is
Like we
what it
got
is.
can't talk, but yeah, ramen
Right.
bomb.
Right. So it's like, okay. So, when we start doing our own little things like that, that's when we get into trouble and everything. And I do understand, now there's a lot of, people want to know about, the vaccines and things like that. But this is what, because I was very afraid of it all. Remember, I told you I was on a journey for a while where I was anti medical establishment.
Yeah.
And when I started to dig into epidemiology and how vaccinations were made, I came to learn that, okay, guess what? Yes, there may be a little bit because a lot of people will complain, oh, there's formaldehyde in it. There's formaldehyde in tequila. Okay. And we're drinking that all the time.
Okay, yeah, I hear that.
It's
It's in there
naturally
too.
occurring. It's naturally occurring. Everything on the earth is on the periodic table. And so the scientists have done a
It
great
is.
job of saying, okay, this is the right dosage. This is how much of this we can put in here. Here's something else we can add to it to negate this and negate that. So with the vaccinations, 99% of people are not going to have issue. Now if you got a bunch of comorbidities and you're very sick already, you got to see with your doctor. But again, and then even now people say, oh, there's mercury in vaccines. There have not been mercury in vaccines since 1990, I believe. So again, bad information out there.
Check it out for yourself. Check it out for yourself.
So you gotta, again, can you get, and I had one time for a thing, and like my arm was sore for a few days. I'm like, that lady didn't even put it in. Yeah, those little things can happen. You may feel a little bit sick, but the benefits, especially now, like what we're seeing in Texas with this measles outbreak, the benefits outweigh the risks. So,
Yes.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
You do. Oh my gosh, this was such a great conversation. See, I love having meaningful conversations like this. So tell us, what do you offer? Tell us, you got coaching classes, you got something how we could get in touch with you so we could sign up so you can help us get our lives together here so
Oh,
that we can be on
yes.
a healthy track. Yes.
This is what I love to do. So I love to be an affordable offering for people. I excuse me. I do offer affordable group coaching. Usually the price is $20 and less for group coaching. Group coaching is a great option if you just want to start changing your diet. We do challenges. We do a green apple challenge where we all are doing it, together and getting ourselves cleaned out that way. So that's something you could be a part of. I always tell people though, start with engaging with meaningful content creators on your social medias. So I would love to be that for people. I have my YouTube channel where I debunk myths on there, health myths. We talk about what's current, like what's going on in health news. different conditions. I'll tackle my purpose for being on YouTube is not to like entertain. Like you won't even see me on camera half the time. I'm just presenting the information. I'm not trying to be a celebrity. That is not at all what I'm interested in, but I am interested in educating people. So I got a type of YouTube channel. It's like, girl, just hit the play button, put it on in your car when you're driving, put it on while you're doing your dishes. It's not anything you really need to sit there and watch. You just need to hear the information. You can drop your questions in the, comment box and everything like that. And then I tell people too, don't just interact with me. Follow on your Instagram, follow Mayo Clinic, follow all of these different places. Follow American Cancer Society. All these, they have social media presences too, but we too busy following, the
Who got the
cutesy
highest number?
people.
You see somebody singing or dancing or putting on their makeups, following me. Follow me as I get ready for today. No, I want somebody to help me get my life together. I don't need to
Right.
follow you. Follow, where am I following you to?
Right, right. It's just a bunch, who cares about the club? So that's what I tell people,
Yes,
go
this
engage
is
with those
meaningful
people.
stuff. I
Yeah,
love.
and it's free and it's a good place to start. Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. So that's what I love being her is about. I love being her is about seeking women who are entrepreneur, who are doing what God has called them to do, with whether it be something that they have gone through and they want to help others to get through it also. They find a better way to help us get through it because it's not easy. So I always feel that everybody has a story to tell. And Miss Clary, you have a story to tell. Work It Lady podcast. Y'all need to check her out on YouTube. What is your YouTube handle? How can we find it? Just I'll put you in the whole bar and I'll type it out.
Oh,
Work It Lady
thank
podcast.
you. Yes, at Work It Lady
Right.
Podcast. And you can find me on YouTube at Work It Lady Podcast, Instagram. I have a TikTok. I'm not on it often because I'm tired. But YouTube and Instagram are the main places you can find me.
I'm on you. I'm on TikTok too, but don't expect some new videos to come up all the time. Just if you want to follow, hey, go ahead. But I'm not going to do no dancing trends for you. I may do
Uh-uh.
like a public speaking tidbit or something, but I'm not doing that. You may see a little tidbit from these videos here, but that's about it.
That's about
I
it.
just love talking to my sisters. These are my new sisters. This is my new friends now. Okay,
I
you're
love
welcome
it.
back at any time if you have anything that's new that's coming up or just some information you want to share. Just always you can always reach out to me anytime, and we're gonna just get together and just put this thing and just talk.
I
Okay.
love it. I love it. I love your space. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate you sharing your story. I appreciate the opportunity to share mine. And yeah, thank y'all all so much. Appreciate you.
Do you have like a workshop or training? How so you said they can find you on Working Lady podcast?
Yes, they can find me at Working Lady Podcast, YouTube, and Instagram. And if they want to sign up for anything, you'll
Yes.
see it on my Instagram. You can also visit my website, workingladypodcast.com, and you can sign up there as well. The next one is probably not starting until the end of March for the group coaching. So you can always just inquire, and I'll put you on the list.
I'll probably get in there too since I'm already halfway there. I just gave up coffee. I'm done. I'm halfway there.
Yes. Yes.
Oh gosh, yes, I can't wait. I'm so glad to meet you and have this time to speak with you. So yeah, so feel free to reach out to me anytime. Everybody, this is Clary, a Working Lady podcast. She has great advice, information. She is a wealth of knowledge. Just click on all her social media platforms. And she made it easy for you, okay? It's Work It Lady Podcast on all across the platforms, right?
Yep.
Facebook,
Yep.
YouTube, and Instagram. You can find it, and maybe a little bit on TikTok, just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit on TikTok. Maybe she'll grace us with like a 2 minute, how long is it? 1 minute or a 30-second little
A
snippet
little blurb. Yep.
blurb. Maybe
Yep.
she'll give us a blurb, but I love it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. You as well.
All right.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye, everybody.